think I should highlight my inner corner with today?
Butter.
Butter. Hi, my name is Jordan. Today I'm just going to be doing a kind of school-ish makeup. I'm just going to do makeup like how I wore it in high school. I don't really wear makeup every day to class in college because I just like to stay in bed until right before I have to be there. So yeah, this is kind of how I would do my makeup when I was in high school, but obviously a lot better because I'm better at makeup now. So yeah, if you're interested, keep on watching. So I just started out by priming my eyelids with concealer and translucent powder. I would recommend priming your eyelids just so they don't get oily throughout the day. So for like school, I kind of approach makeup the same way I do for work, in the sense that I kind of do more simple face makeup and then I would just do whatever I wanted on my eyes and change it up all the time. So I was one of those people who like one day would wear just mascara and the next day would have like a smoky eye going on, but that was me. I know a lot of people, at least where I went to high school, most people the most they did was like winged eyeliner, and that was on their fancy days. So yeah, that's going to be the main thing I do today, but I'm going to jazz it up so it's not so boring. I'm going to try to use mostly affordable makeup, but I can't use all because I don't have like affordable foundation or concealer. So just to keep it simple, I'm going to take a Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Co-Pilot. This was from their Valentine's Day collection. I think it's still available on their website, but it's just a really pretty like metallic, champagne-y, pale color. And just for the sake of you might be doing this at 6 a.m., I'm just going to take it on my finger and kind of pat it on the lid. This would be a pretty highlight. So once you've got that on your lid, you can just take any fluffy brush you want and just blend it out if you have harsh edges. You could also just do this with your fingers. You can like make this as intense or as sheer as you want. I'm going to leave it kind of more on the sheer side just because I want the school makeup to be very like kind of effortless looking. Okay, so to do the liquid liner, I'm going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner in black. So I'm going to try to do liquid eyeliner on camera. I'm not very good at it because every time I try I have to stop filming and fix it for like 20 minutes. So we'll see. So I just drew a little line. Alrighty, so I just did some winged eyeliner. This is my kind of go-to shape and length and thickness, just because it works for my eye. Plus, if you mess up, you just keep adding on and eventually you'll get there. But yeah, so I used the NYX eyeliner, and if you ever do mess up, this is why I like to do my eyes before my face, because I just take some micellar water and a little angled brush and just whoop, and it's fixed. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and add an inner corner highlight. So you could use the same eyeshadow I used on your lid in your inner corner. You could intensify it more. I personally always like a really intense inner corner highlight if I can get it. So I would actually make it more intense than the sheer wash of color. If you wanted just like it to be brightening, then I would just use like your face highlight or the same eyeshadow, just, you know, sheer and very glowy and beautiful. But I kind of want a more intense inner corner highlight. That's what I've always been into. I used to always do like eyeliner and a very, very white, intense, metallic inner corner highlight for like a full year of high school. So today I'm going to use the NARS Hardwired eyeshadow in Earthshine. I don't think you can still get these anymore, which probably isn't a huge deal since this one little thing was 25 bucks. Yeah, I'm just going to pop that on my inner corner with a little detail brush. And you see, if you use it dry, it does look very sheer and pretty, but if you wanted to use it wet, it would be really intense. I really like these shadows wet. So if by the end of the look I want more of a pow, I will...
I am so sorry.
Oh, that was rude. I'm going to move on to the face now.
That time I did burp.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you let my beauty sponge?
I'm trying to read people's embarrassing stories.
And I'm trying
Girl
to
said
fill
she was
the...
at the club and her pants ripped right down her bunker.
Same. That would happen to me if I was at the club. Oh, while I wait for my beauty sponge, I'm going to do some mascara because I forgot about that. I'm just using a Covergirl one because it's what I've got. So now that I have mascara on, I'm just going to start doing some face makeup. So I'm just starting out with the Tatcha water cream. I like this. So yeah, I'm just going to let that soak in and I guess do my brows before I actually move on to my face. So I'm going to use my ABH Dipbrow pomade. I'm finally almost out of this stuff. It is so rewarding to use this whole thing up because I'm going to start out with the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. And this is my favorite. This is my favorite primer and my favorite moisturizer since obviously it's both. It's in the name. Duh. My go-to for a day-to-day basis is the Milk Sunshine Skin Tint. It is a tint versus a foundation, so it's going to be more like a BB cream. But unlike a BB cream, this is pretty buildable, so you could build it up to medium coverage. But like the Milk Blur Liquid Foundation, this is pretty new. Obviously, they're both from the same line. I really like Milk face products, clearly. But I think this is a really great matte foundation. One, because it's very light, and it is like more of a medium to full coverage, depending on how much skin problems you have. So for me, it's really decent coverage, but I can still see some redness peeking through, but that doesn't bother me so much as it would have when I was in high school. I am going to use this one today because it is a little bit cheaper, not by much, only like $2. And there are a lot more shades in this one because the other one's a tint, so it has a very small shade selection, and this one is a bit bigger, so you might be able to get this one in a shade that works for you. I am in the shade Ivory, which is the lightest one with a yellow undertone, and then they also have Fair, which is more pink based, but I got this one. So something to note with this one, you have to shake it up because it's water based. At least that's what the lady at Sephora told me. So I'm just going to do 2 little squeezes. Okay, so because this is a matte foundation, I'm still going to mix it even though I like the finish of this even by itself. And a tiny little bit of my priming moisturizer as well. This is what I always do when I use the Kat Von D one. But with that one, I tried to use more of the moisturizer than the foundation because it is so dry on my skin. But with this one, I'm using about half the amount. I also like to mix in a liquid highlight. This is really the only way I use liquid highlights. I'm just not very good at them once I've already got the base down, so I like to mix them in with my foundation. Currently, I have a few different types in rotation. I have a Cover FX one, a Tarte one, and a Colourpop one. Because the Colourpop one is the most affordable, I'm going to use that one today. This one is the Amethyst Crystal Liquid one. Okay, so this was one pump of the highlighter, and you can see it gives you a lot with one pump. So I take that mixture, and then I'm going to just mix it with my... Stop taking me. I'm just going to mix it with my spatula and then apply it to the face. So I just usually like to take what's left on the spatula and just wipe it on my face, so when I set this down it doesn't have foundation getting all over my desk. And then my preferred application is with a beauty sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques Face and Body one because it's enormous and it speeds things up a lot. Also, this foundation smells amazing. So you can see that was just what was on my spatula, and I already feel like it kind of smoothed everything out. Obviously, I'm going to apply a lot more because I have a ton on my little palette thing. A good amount of coverage. You could obviously build it up more or just use a fuller coverage foundation. I'm pretty happy with this. This looks really good to me. I feel like my skin looks very healthy and glowy, even though it is a matte finish. Mixing the primer and the highlighter in there really helps it just look amazing, in my opinion. That's my opinion. So when I was in high school, and even actually until pretty recently, I would powder my entire face. But lately, I've actually been only powdering my under eyes. And I don't really know why. Because I always thought if I didn't powder my face, then like my bronzer and stuff would get all muddy. But I haven't been experiencing that. So I don't know if I'm using a good bronzer or I've just been lied to my entire life. I don't really know. I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. From this video, you can probably tell like concealers and foundations, I generally prefer higher end ones. And normally I would actually blend out my under eye concealer with like a beauty sponge. But I was watching this video and it wasn't like that whole makeup do's and don'ts, which I hate those videos because they're always so rude. But because they're like, it's okay if you do your makeup like this and then intentionally make it look horrible. It's like, yeah, I feel really okay about it now. But anyways, I was watching a helpful one that was like how to use your brushes to their best ability. And she basically like recommended like a really small fluffy brush for your concealer because really you need the most coverage right up against your eye where the dark circles are. So like making a huge triangle doesn't really work, and then whatever is like left you can take and blend out down to like highlight, and I've actually noticed it makes a big difference. I'm not just wasting a ton of concealer and then still having dark circles poke through. And I'm using the same concealer that I've tried multiple ways, so there's something to it, guys. And if you're wondering, I just used the Morphe Y15, the Morphe brush to blend out that. I'm just going to set my under eyes with the NYX HD Finishing Powder. And I've been keeping this pretty tight. I haven't really been blending it out and like concealing my whole face. Like I said, I'm just keeping it right where I put that concealer so it doesn't crease. And I have pretty, unfortunately, creasy under eyes. I'm already an old woman. But, yeah, it doesn't look too bad, in my opinion. In my opinion. I'm never gonna stop doing that. Okay. Now that I've done my concealer, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on some lower lash mascara.
Sorry.
Bless you.
I tried to stop it, but
I just couldn't hold. Next, I'm gonna apply some bronzer. I'm gonna use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer.
Shocker.
What? What did you say?
Shocker.
What's that supposed to mean?
You always use that.
Well, it's good. Okay, well, I am going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer to bronze my face because it's the most affordable bronzer I own. And I feel like this is the best option. If you wanted a kind of similar result and you wanted to splurge, the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer is really similar to this one in light bronzer. but this one is way more matte than the Physician one. That one has a sheen to it. There's another Morphe brush. I'm just obsessed with Morphe.
Use my code.
Hashtag code. Anyways, I'm gonna use this stupid Morphe brush called the Y9. I've been actually enjoying using this because I always use like really big fluffy brushes to do bronzer and then like littler ones to do contour. Sometimes I just like to go crazy with a bigger brush. But using a smaller one lets you place it exactly where you want it, and it's fluffy enough that you can still blend it out. I am going to go over the bronzer with the Real Techniques powder brush just because it's nice and fluffy, and it'll help me soften the edges a lot quicker than just using that little brush. And since I am fair, I really have to blend it. Just run over with my sponge to like kind of push it into the skin. And that's what I'll do. I'm going to highlight, which is the best part of any makeup look, to be honest. So I am actually pretty happy with how my eyes look, so I'm not going to intensify the inner corner highlights. I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Gleam, which they sadly discontinued, because this is the best highlighting kit in my opinion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be extra because I really want to glow. I feel like part of like looking like you don't really care is just to look so like glowy, but not like you tried. I guess that's the cool thing, is to look so like effortlessly gorgeous that people are just like, wow, you're such a natural, ethereal beauty. I'll never get that. Anyways, I'm going to use the shade Starburst, which is my main squeeze, so to speak. And I'm going to use my Sephora 93 brush. I don't know why I'm dipping it in there so much. It just felt right. And then I'm going to sweep this like that and like this, like that and like this. I'm going to kind of do the C shape around my eye. So I'm getting a sheer application and highlighting above my brow and my whole cheek area. My fave style of highlighting is more like that kind of glossy effect. So not super metallic, because that looks kind of unnatural, obviously. But the glossy look gives you that really nice intensity, but it just looks like it's part of your skin. Now, I'm going to use another Morphe brush. This is the Morphe Life 14. And I'm going to use it to highlight. Get my drift? I'm going to use this shade Crushed Pearl. And I'm going to kind of focus this like right here where I get a little dip by my eye. So right will be the most intense spot. So I'm just going to use the Colourpop Blotted Lip one. I really like this formula, and I know they do nudes, so I'm just going to add a quick layer of the Colourpop Fairy Floss gloss, because this is my favorite gloss ever. This is my finished school makeup look. It's very glowy, very kind of effortless, like I just woke up and I'm gorgeous kind of thing, at least in my opinion. The main thing people are going to notice you really did is the winged eyeliner, so if you didn't want to do that and you just wanted to do the wash of like highlight on your eyes and on your face, it would be more of a like natural kind of cool girl beauty vibe. But I think the winged eyeliner is fun. I love winged eyeliner, so I think it's a great choice. But yeah, this is kind of the makeup I would wear to school. This is kind of makeup I would wear any day really, but the eye look is more toned down for me. So yeah, that's about it. Honestly, I don't really have much else to say. That's it for today. I hope you liked this. I hope it's not going to be 5 million years long. It always ends up being 20 minutes, so we'll see. If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you checked out some of my other videos. Stick around, maybe subscribe, and yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye!